The reviews aren't for Middle-earth Shadow of War, and critics agree that it's great. In fact, Shacknews' own Greg Burke gave the game a near-perfect score. The only criticism he had was that there was too much to do, which is where our walkthrough and guide content picks up. We've been working our way through Shadow of War for some time now, and have prepared a collection of guides that will help you defeat your foes. Shadow of War walkthrough and guide. Shadow of War combat and stealth tips. You'll spend most of your time fighting the various enemies in Shadow of War. We've gathered up our best combat and stealth tips to help you win the fight. Shadow of War best skills and builds. The two main ways to approach Shadow of War are with either stealth or melee-based combat. We've taken the time to explain our favorite skills for each build. Shadow of War how to fast travel. The fast travel mechanic in Shadow of War is quite basic. You can only fast travel to and from certain spots, and only after you first unlock them. Shadow of War worms and captains. Captains will be the main enemy type that you fight while wandering around in Shadow of War, but it's essential you interrogate worms to gather intel on them beforehand. Shadow of War drain and health. You're going to take a lot of damage in Shadow of War, so knowing how to regain that health back through the drain mechanic is essential to survival. Shadow of War Nemesis system explained. All the intel and learning how to use drain to regain health won't save you all the time. The Nemesis system in Shadow of War is always in play, taunting you. Shadow of War gain followers and build an army. If you're going to take on your nemesis in Shadow of War, you're going to need to gain followers and build your army. Here's how to recruit some killers to your side. Shadow of War how to unlock a mount. There is nothing cooler in Shadow of War than riding a Drake Dragon and cooking your enemies as you dive bomb them from the skies. Mother of Dragons would be jealous. Shadow of War how to upgrade weapons and armor as you begin to defeat your enemies and unlock rare, epic and legendary gear. You'll want to upgrade it through the challenges. Here's how you get that process started. Shadow of War how do gems work. In Shadow of War, players can craft gems and add them to their weapons and armor for bonuses. It's not necessarily an immediately simple system, so our guide breaks it down. Shadow of War collectibles and solutions. Shadow of War all the filled indoor solutions. Players can collect a filled in each region of Shadow of War, and then ask the information to complete the filled indoor poem and get a legendary armor or legendary weapon piece. Shadow of War general information and news. Shadow of War who is the voice actor that plays Talion. Players who enjoyed Shadow of Mordor will recognize that the same voice actor returns to play Talion. New players to Shadow of War will want to know who it is. Shadow of War Shacknews review. Our very own Greg Burke took on the review for Middle-earth Shadow of War. He gave it a nearly perfect score. Fans of Lord of the Rings will want to know how it measures up.